All right. What's going on? What's going on? Let me talk about these most relationship podcasts. They are so damn utilitarian, man. I've been wanting to talk about this. Like I said last week, or yeah, last week about doing about a relationship podcast being trash in general, or these so-called red pill spaces. They actually blue pilled. You know, if you study the symbolism of Matrix and all that, yes, it was founded by a so-called black female or black woman that created, but she got ideas from other people. But that's a whole nother topic on that. But yeah, man, like a lot of these niggas podcasts are trash, man. Like they talk about the same regurgitated stuff I've heard years ago, other spaces, things like that. But the thing is about it, like a lot of them, they just ain't got no proper content. Like they don't like females, women, you know what I'm saying, like real women, and then the proper females, and that's their thing. But it's a waste of time. Why talk to females that don't like you and you don't like them? You're wasting everybody's time. You know what I'm saying? The relationship thing is is really bullshit. It's not even a thing anymore. People don't want relationships no more because the shit is online. And it's nothing wrong having them, but promoting it on the internet, for example, complaining about your problems and drama, it's still garbage to me. I don't give a damn who does not listen to this. If you listen to this on the playback, y'all fucking weirdos and losers, man, promoting it like it's something cool, and then you did some inappropriate shit off the internet that's gonna be on there forever. You can't take that back. It's like a graveyard, man. We know what you did online. The pandemic is a great example of that. The era, should I say? I would say from the C-19 era. I'm gonna call it the C-19 era instead of calling the pandemic era. We're gonna call it the C-19 era. The C-19 era was like lockdowns and all that other shit. It was surprising. I'm not gonna get into depth on the medical part. I'm just gonna say like this: a lot of people got exposed. A lot of people got exposed in their relationships. If you notice, that same year in 2020, when I was a panelist 4 years ago, a lot of people got exposed based off how toxic their relationship was during the time before you even seen it. See, before that, they was hiding around, and I just saw a video, a guy try to tell a side chick, just wait on him. But to come to find, when I look at that video, I said, that guy's a simp. Why is he being a provider to a side chick? You know what I'm saying? See, that right there, fellas, you can't be a player like that. That's a simp move. Only simps do that. Only derelict simps and narcissistic bitch ass little males think they have options. They don't have options. A real man that has options don't brag about it. He knows he got them. You got to be a single man to have options. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna speak from the truth on this. People that I've seen when I used to work in the dealership, and I talked to people that had more money than me, like if they was in the millionaire bracket or somewhere around like beyond 100,000K, they always had options. And these guys I met, they wasn't married. So if you're not married and you do have options, your aesthetics and all this stuff, life said, get your shit together and all that. Well, you have options. And if you have a certain amount of money and status, yeah. But a married man does not. The average married man or fool is really a deep down. I'm not saying all married men are, but the average married man or these males, so-called men, they're fucking boys and they're simps. And the reason why I say that, and you have a side piece, yeah, everybody has a side piece each, but deep down, how you treat your side piece. Are you gonna treat her like trash, like she's a booty call? You know, most of them, a true player would do that and don't give them too much. This guy, when I saw that video, he's a simp, bro. And guess what? His wife's a lawyer. It's over for him. I don't see him coming back for that. It's just, oh, this has got to be a scam. Only weak motherfuckers is more like, hey, what's going on, legend? What's going on, she? These dudes got to understand, if you're going to simp somebody, I ain't telling you to simp. I don't myself. Try to be discreet about it, because most simps, they quiet about their shit. You know, they get caught eventually. But when you got guys like that online, see, the internet done killed relationships. I'm going to say this right now. If you put your wife online, she's for everybody. You're just really a simp in an adult, amateur adult things online. I ain't gonna say the P word, you know, because you know how sensitive the sorry site is. But I'm just saying, like, you got to be careful what you put out here. It's just like, and shouts out to that guy, another podcast, but he deals with the dirty section. What's his name? But he's balanced. You can't be arguing with people because they go back to the ways when they get young. And I said the same thing 3 years ago. We tapped into how reckless we were. So he had a point. I was subscribed to his channel, a lot of channels, but let's go back to the relationship aspect. What we're talking about. He said a lot of weird people follow certain dudes. I'm gonna talk about that another time with Zip and 10 Toes Down, and they try to say Zip's a rap, which he was not. 10's just a whole clown. He's sissified. No one listens to 10 and them other niggas, but Zip's got the internet on fire on the urban stuff. He's part of the filthy section. The filthy section went in, they up. It is what it is. But back to the guy, like I saw from that video, he was a simp, man. Why were you providing a side chick? Like, I would never do that. And she told you she was a booty call, but did she catch feelings? And it was like for 7 years. 7 years. He did that shit for 7 years, and she waited. A lot of people blame her. No, blame him. You can't be a so-called man and you're married to a lawyer. See, this is why I don't take the internet seriously, because these dudes be doing sucker shit, and then you wonder why the men are set back, and then females be talking shit on X, formerly known as Twitter and Instagram. They talk about it, and these hoes talk about you. And Shasta Ramil said, if you do that shit, that's on you. And you have kids by the lawyer, but she's not giving him sexual favors. And if she's not giving you sexual favors, that's part of the marriage. And sometimes don't have to be, but she's a lawyer. Who has time to color up and do all the wild stuff? But I'm just saying, like, dude has to understand. Like, when I saw that video on YouTube just like a couple of minutes ago, dude, you're a simp, bro. Like, and he's a nigga. And she had her white toenails and all that stuff. He didn't show her face, he showed her feet, but he shouldn't have put it on the internet like that. The wife's gonna find out and use that against him. He said the wife don't know. She should know. She has the internet. She should know. You're a lawyer. You do research, forensics, and all that. And then that's her man talking in the background. She go to his beauty. I think she probably done told him already. But it's the sucker shit that I don't like. And that's why I look at these podcasts. No, every man do leave his wife over some small shit. So-called man, like I said, a real man don't leave his wife. That's not true. If she's not giving you none, most people get a divorce immediately and they'll leave. That's a double standard trying to say all women leave the relationship. No, nigga, y'all leave. You just can't control it because y'all a bunch of narcissists. That's why y'all don't know how to handle women. Y'all act like simps online. And that proves that's why the space is trash. The space I told you died years ago. When I saw this in 2020, what they was on that type of bullshit. A lot of their stories, I would say 75 to, I'll say about 30 to 70% of the stories of the so-called manosphere is slightly true if they're married. 95% of the time in the beginning, everybody was worrying about the no-fault divorce and all that. That was true in the 1.0 days. But the 2.0, they be lying. They don't have a plan to stop that. They just like to perpetuate the same sucker shit. And a lot of these simps and these cowards and these, what you would call the incels are not virgins. Incels are losers. That's in marriages, that was in marriage for a few years and can't get it back, that spark like they do. But they're really proto-simps. That's all they are. And they're reckless. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They fuck up the spaces and they talk about, let's get a passport. You're simps. AKA tricks. Same thing. The difference is a tricking, yeah, you participate, but simping, you want a relationship. Simps want relationships. Tricking wants the transactional relationships, which is not real because you're really simping. Tricking is just another name for simping. They told me this when I was growing up because I figured it out. Like when I was young, they try to say it's different. It ain't no difference. The only difference is how you do it. And if we see you are one, you are one. I ain't built like that. I'm not in that category, but I don't care for these females like that. They come to me naturally. I'm a whole killer myself. I just don't brag about it. Most men don't brag about being a hoe killer. I don't, because I have a certain way to talking to them. You know what I mean? I don't impress these weak dudes on these panels. I really do not. See, I can hold a conversation. I've done that before. Even when I was in a dealership, minding my business, doing my job, all the hoes came to that establishment. So I've been on this shit, man. It's just sad that I'm seeing it from a different lens now. And I was never brainwashed in the 2-point home management. I didn't fit in because I was the real one to say, just go outside, talk to people. I was balanced with it. I was like, look, if you have problems, ignore them. Because all they're going to do is talk shit. We already know what they're going to do on the internet. No way. They ain't got no options of men. Like I said, they got plenty of course they got options. They got options of weak males, what you call lames, which y'all ignorantly call pookie. Pookie just means lame, etymology. That's why it's no such thing as an educated lame. I said this 3 years ago. I tried to tell this to a utility. It does not exist. Pookies are lame anyway. They get popped every day in the hood. Like the Ray Rays always had the box. They always had the vaginas in their back pocket, which we ignorantly use the word pussy. They've always had that. They always had that. And like I said, why they always had that, sir? Because they had power like that. Some of them were in gangs, other areas of life, illegally and legally, like police, they had control over that. You couldn't control that. That's how I was raised. I saw that shit from where I come from, and then down here, residing here in Georgia, it's normal. It's a flex. No one cares about that online. You try to flex that now, you look stupid. See, these dudes that get on panels and general claiming red pill, they're nothing but simps. Majority of them. And I'm not dissing nobody that's not a simp in between that. You have a few in between that's not like that. But the ones I know personally that has long live streams and be reckless with their mouth, they're really simps, bro. And these females laugh at their dumb asses every time they say some dumb shit on YouTube. And that gets back to them, what you would call Twitter, but it's known as X and Instagram. They be listening. Y'all do know that, right? Y'all do know you can unfuck dereliction with that part, right? And y'all do know that hoes is watching you. They already know you move, like, already. If they find out you had those talking points, they laughing at you out the building, bro. Like, I understand how this thing works on the internet, because once you're out there, you're out there. Them DMs is gonna fold y'all. You gotta understand, stop playing around with this shit, man. Because these relationships are done. Like, I don't see people like bragging about it and then doing podcasts about it. Dude, that's not how men operate. Men operate different when it comes to relationships. They don't brag like online. But then you got some dudes that so-called men leave relationships because a woman won't say shit. Sometimes it's communication, you need to work on all that stuff. And yourself. You're supposed to know who you marry. And I'm not just giving advice. I'm saying advice if you're in a relationship. I've been in a relationship once and never participated again because I felt like the structure of it is bad. Now, I seen my parents' marriage. It was all right, up and down, nuclear family, and they're separated. So 40 years of nothing to me, I think my dad wanted to call it quits, but that's on him. But my mom's just sick of it. So I understand the game, bro. I understand what people are stressing. That era, that C19 era, it's the most damaging times when people was in relationships and they were stuck in the house and they don't like each other. That's when that's what DVs done went up in crime, and domestic violence done went up. And that's proven now. It's gotten worse afterwards. I try to tell you it's over. That's why I be sharing them in the other platforms. Shout out to the Epsilon and trying to remind fellas, look, this is going on, bro. It's over. I ain't got to talk bad about so-called black females. I ain't got time for that. That's not the content. That's what these loser boys talk about. But they're simps. They simp after them, and no one cares for them. Not even so-called white men care for them. Y'all think they care about these females? You're fucking crazy. They don't. They nothing but doormats, man. They're toys to them. No shot at the black women that I really mess with, but the ones that act like a non-woman, they act like female, like dogs, they want to be that. It's the truth. And I'm not mad at anybody or these things out here. I'm just telling it like it is. I'm telling the truth because that's what they do. And online, they be lying and they do the most hypocritical shit, and your shit's been out all over these sites. So I can't take nothing they say seriously, especially in these relationship topics and these gurus. It's not the gurus. The gurus just don't know shit. They're not married. They can't speak on it. And then they get real married people. Most of them are simps, by the way. Speaking from a stupid ass idolatrous perspective, like the three religions that I can't stand over here. It's not allowed to be discussed. Fuck all three of them, by the way. And we need to get away from that as a people. But it is utilitarian. Marriage is very utilitarian. Yes, it's pro-woman in some aspects with these laws. We get it. But y'all participate in it. That's why people's not getting married. Because, and not just the laws, it's just the people. The people that you attract and whatever. A lot of people get caught up in thinking relationships is everything, but it's not. And like I said, make sure, some guy said on the podcast, relationship turns into marriage. That's true, and sometimes it's not. You know when you're dealing with a person, then breakups happen. Everybody doesn't get married in relationships. I'm gonna tell you that right now, because marriage is work. It's money. That's why people stay with their longtime girlfriend and then they break up. They don't have to deal with the marriage. See, marriage costs money. I don't think people understand that. Like, it's still utilitarian because the government, they said, government's going to get involved. No, you allowed and sign a contract with the government. If you're trying to get somewhere in life, you're trying to get into politics, you got to be married. But marriage is not appealing to most people. Nobody likes it. That's why people don't go big in certain things. Like I said, we need to stop looking at celebrities. Celebrities are fucking losers, man. They're the most sorriest people to be around. That's why I say fuck the majority of them. I'm not a celebrity lover. If you notice, I treat people like shit all the time equally. But you got to on this internet shit because it's gonna get to a point. He said like Tony Gas on YouTube and he perfect man. Exactly, a bunch of bullshit, bro. Like, you gotta understand, marriage is one thing. I don't hate the ones that's doing it right. Like, just be mindful when you put anybody on it, or husband or wife, you're done. Anything sexual, you're done. Like, you got to be careful. Back then, it was the Wild Wild West. No one gave a fuck. Now you got to be careful because these location devices, what we call smartphones and iPhones and Android become worse. Google just lost a lawsuit, but we ain't gonna get into that. So yeah, people are not playing. Hey, what's going on, Queena? But we're not dissing nobody. Like, it's just like the relationship aspect of these podcasts, there's no growth. Because the problem with these podcasts, they so center around females. What about the males fucking up? And why you pick these females? Why you pick these women that you don't like? And y'all like prostitutes and, you know what, adult stars and whatever. And you like these harlots in the scriptures, like they said. You love them. That's the problem. You dudes love them, and then you wonder why they treat you bad and stuff like that. We talked about this 3 years ago. Shouts to Cerulli and the others. We spoke on this on various things, and I'm going back to what he said, that these dudes are losers, man. And they try to say everybody else deciphers. Really, y'all deciphers. Y'all the ones in the blue pill space promoting utilitarian cultures and shit. And the reason I'm using the word, because it matches, it created feminism and all these gynocracy cultures. It's still utilitarian. It's still. Because the man don't really have full control in a system like that. Another man using females as a prop to control other males and other men. So yeah, if you're in a relationship, you gotta be careful, because anything you do in life of this structure of Western civilization, you're going to have to play the marriage game just a little bit, but you don't have to on certain things. But if you try to get big in political and military, it's structured that way. But you gotta make sure you have a lot of money. A lot of money marriage costs money. I'm just gonna tell you right now. You just got to deal with it. They're not gonna change that. That's the way to control the masses. But most people don't have to be married if you're rich. You can control people that way. It's plenty of ways to do stuff, but we're not gonna be the controllers of it. And speaking on that, it's just crazy. Now, Naf Hoffa, I did saw his little interview about Freemasonry. I'm not gonna get into that. That's a separate stream. And I'm gonna break that down. What I think about it. Matt should not be talking. Matt should just stick to his content. Even if he is a Freemason, he should not speak on it because they're gonna remind him once he gets up in certain levels of their degrees, he's done. He can't really say too much. They give you half secrets online. They've been exposed for years and years, but now the internet done got wide like a crater dome, like a nuclear missile. Math's got to walk on eggshells, not say too much. If you fuck with the right people, you're there. But see, he's a prime example of a low-tier Mason, but we're not going to get into him today. We're just going to cut him short on this topic, but we're going to go back to the relationship topic about these podcasts. They ain't got no structure. I know they're controlled by somebody, and most of these podcasts are whack as hell. And you got these dudes like, I think his name's Adam, but he's trying to be like Fresh and Fit, or Flims and Flams, like I like to call them. It's over for them. Like those podcasts are so play out. You get these OF girls and a combination of Fansly girls on your podcast and try to vow them and try to say they're women this, women that. That shows you ignorance. See, that's that utilitarian coat they use, that colloquialism that they use, trying to make everybody equal, and they're not. You got men, you got males, you got women, you got females. And what I mean by that, I'm not saying it just gender. I'm just saying basically how y'all act. When I say a so-called woman that's a female, she's acting like, you know what? But I know you can't give them a woman conscience. The only way you can call them a woman is they act like it, because in society they're not. I use the word modern female. I don't use the word modern woman, because when you use modern woman, you sound like these weirdos, right? And they never talk to women and things like that. I'm using context here. Yeah, men, and then you got males. And ladies, if you listen to this on the playback, look, stop calling them pookies, aka lames. Start calling them males, man. Like if you call them men, they don't represent all men. Just like y'all say, females don't represent all women. Okay, it's equal across the board over here. I'm not one of these dudes be saying there's nobody's the same. It's a class thing. This country is built on class and other shit. Yeah, race is a construct, but it's still utilitarian because they got to trick you into picking who's who. I think Math mentioned that in that stupid interview with Hip Hop Is Real. And they so ignorant as hell. So bunch of dummies. He was smart to go on that weak ass interview. I'm gonna talk about him probably later in the week. Yeah, I might do it. I might come again Friday. We'll see how I feel. I might do that because I'm gonna see how the weather is Friday, and then I'll do it. Because I don't trust anybody in these relationship podcasts to tell you the truth. Because they all have fucked up marriage. This is why I don't fuck with Kevin Samuels. And Kevin Samuels, we already know he's suspicious. He's suspect Samuels. I call him suspect Samuels. Shouts out to Shrew. He got the suspicious Samuels. I call him suspect Samuels. Because he's always been suspected because he said something. And I was done with him then because I never followed him. I never subscribed to shit. I had other people they love to do. That's you. But Kevin was not telling the truth. He's just speaking his mind about marriage, but he's a loser. Like, why would I listen to a guy that had a suit and had failed marriages? I don't take him seriously. He's right on some things, but he's wrong on a lot of things. Try to tell if the people that already have kids go back to their baby dads, that's not realistic. Most of these dudes, they say they do. That's in y'all areas, but we're talking about in general, that's not always the case. Every baby dad ain't the same. Most baby daddies are simps. 95% of them are simps. You got them in the so-called manosphere, they're everywhere. They're fuck niggas at the end of the day. That's why people don't fuck with them. But they trying to relive their past. They always been suckers, man. Nobody, and I'm not pandering either. I'm just telling you the truth. Most of these dudes are suckers. All they care about is themselves, and no one gives a fuck about them because they already took the L. You done got a female pregnant, and you made her into, and you know what, a whore, and then she's gonna come around and talk shit about you. That's what they do. They get online and talk shit about you. The baby dad is not innocent. He's still a fuck nigga to me, period. He's no better than these niggas complaining about females. That's why I don't fuck with these dudes, because most of them probably got kids outside, overseas, and over here, And this is why I treat them niggas as such. That we're not the same. I had to remove myself from them niggas, man. And if you listen to them long enough, they're fuck niggas end of the day. That whole sphere. You gotta look at people for who they are. It's just sad, man. Hey, what's going on, man? But it's just it goes to show you these podcasts, they don't understand that. And we know what's his name, Myron's buddy. They're all simps deep down. They can't get these females. Because in person, they probably do it for content on camera, but off camera, I bet you they don't get a whole lot of females in a real conversation. They only do it from a podcast. Let's see you do it by yourselves. Let's see some pictures of you talking to a female. They have pictures of people just talking, holding hands just like this. Let's see that, nigga. Or should I say, excuse me, sand nigga. He's an Arab, I don't fuck with them anyway. But I'm just saying, bro. Because they don't like us, we don't like them, so fuck them. It is what it is over here. They getting this smoke. But why is he speaking on our issues? But you got guys, like say they feel now. Duke the Don, they said he done simped out to this Daisy woman. Shouts out to LTTV and shouts out to Tampa for sending that bill, man. Man, I like Duke, but damn, dude, you went out like that, crashing out over some I ain't gonna be graphical or racial. I'm gonna be cool on that. A little tiny box. Come on, bro. And she aborted his baby. It's crazy, but that goes to show you they let this thing get serious on the internet. See, when I was on panels 3 years ago, I was studying them niggas. Just pay attention. I was on every other individual panels that y'all know. I was studying niggas the whole time. Actually, 4 years ago, then the next year, 3 years, and then did my own shit. I was grading these niggas, man. Where they was at. I had some good conversation on my live streams with certain individuals on there, and they dropped some science on it. It's some good stuff. It's good content. You can see it for yourself. I understand that a lot of people have relationship issues, but see, that C-19 era ruined a lot of people. People was on the urge of divorces, which it all happened. And then you have some that didn't get divorced and they found a faith to fight through. It's not easy. Marriage is work. I agree with that. But it ain't for everybody. I'm trying to tell people, quit trying to promote that, especially these podcasts. It's not the way, bro. Most of these single moms that y'all complain about, these single mothers, these single females that are single mothers, they don't want to be with their baby dad. They don't like them. They use him as a tool. I don't care how good his man downstairs is. It don't matter. If he ain't got the funds, they're just using him. And then he's gonna get locked up again, get his head knocked off, and that's it. And you got the ones that be simping and can't see his kids. Now, I ain't saying he's simping and can't see his kids. That's foul right there. I don't recommend, ladies, you don't have to do that. Don't deny a man his child. I don't agree with that. But what I do agree is if you knew what you lay down with, and he's not giving you no attention, he's messing with everybody else, begging, same thing he's doing. And I said, how can you be so easy? He's a provider. And he hasn't learned from his previous mistakes. That's why people don't fuck with him. And he has these outbursts. So I've seen 4 years ago to now. That's what you got on today. And all baby mamas ain't created equal. Some of them are reckless and some of them are controlling. But that's what you do. If you know she was trash, she's from the hood too. She has to work on herself, but it's gonna take a lot. I can't teach a female how to work on herself, but I can tell her this, yes. And she asked me about dereliction. Yeah, it's a day-to-day fight. You can fix it. Both genders can fix it. It's maintenance. But you understand your problem is not with just the individual, it's society, but you got to learn to deal with it and can't make no excuse. See, men, we deal with logic, yes. Females deal with proper emotions, but can you teach a female logic? A little bit, not as much, but you can teach her, but she has to develop that. Now, she asks us, yeah, we can teach the logic all day long. We can do that all day long. but she still got that emotional biology in her. But that's okay. They're supposed to be. Does everybody has emotions? Absolutely, on both sides of the board. But a man don't have to be over their emotions. We know how to turn it off. They don't know how because they're feminine. You want a feminine woman like that. She tell you what's going on, all that. We can have balanced conversations, all that. But we're not trying to, I ain't trying to change none of them, to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you this right now. I ain't trying to change no woman. If she's in a head rough place, she knows how to handle her little dereliction, her inflictions. She's good to me. Even the ones that's out there crazy and then they reform, if there's some reform ones out there, it's good. You know, just keep on the path. I always compliment on somebody on Instagram. I tell, hey, keep up the good work. She lost weight and it's good for her. I'm not an asshole like that. I can be an asshole to certain people that need it, but not to everybody. I ain't got time. We know life is too short. Everything is too short, but you got to understand how to fight through this pain, and that's it. But these relationship podcasts are trash, man. Hey, what's going on, dude? But it just goes to show you that they talk about the same old circle jerking shit that I've seen all the time. Like these dudes, like I be watching like the pre-records of it, seen on certain live shit, and it's just the chats is crazy. But yeah, men understand one thing. We know how they're gonna act. We know they weak ass talking points they got from these certain spaces, but it's spilled over to other platforms. I'm surprised y'all love TikTok. I mean, TikTok has really exposed both genders. A lot of people try to say it's supposed to be, that's true, but it actually exposed the male side too. It's sad. That's why I like TikTok. I don't see how y'all do it, man. Like TikTok is one of the worst I've ever seen. And even if y'all promote your relationships online, I don't recommend it. You're done on it. So yeah, TikTok they try to be like Instagram and it don't work. Instagram is where you get all your views from. And that's controlled by Facebook, by the way. But TikTok is worse because it's too evasive. Now they try to tell that guy to sell it. Hey, what's going on, antisocial? But it's like someone said in the comments, and shouts out to a name, they was trying to say you teaching the world to be antisocial. Well, some people are antisocial. I mean, can it be a bad thing in some degrees? Yeah, but can it be a good thing though in this society we're in now? I think it's a good thing because you're picking and choosing to be antisocial. It's been misused a lot. It's a lot of terms been misused, but you gotta use it in its proper context. If you're in a bad relationship and you used to be in the one, you're staying single, and that's good. It's nothing wrong being single. You just got options to see what you want, because eventually if you do get in a relationship, you really don't have options if you're in a relationship. A lot of people say you have options. If you have options, you're supposed to have a lot of money, status, certain level. That's the people that have options. The average people do not have options. The only options y'all have is a few. And that guy that he recorded his side chick, that's a no-no. You simping and your provider, and your wife finds out she's a lawyer, she gonna take him to the cleaners. If he ain't got no money like that, shame on him. He sounded desperate when he recorded that. That is not fake. That shit real, man. That's real, realistically. You can't do shit like that and expect people yeah, stay out of trouble. But it's just like these guys don't understand. Like, I understand the podcast game. You can talk about various things you want, and that's cool. I talk about different things, how to get your mind right. If you're in the sports, and shouts out to Ticket TV, he talked about this hernia story, and salute for him for that. And I'm glad he shared it. He said, I never shared it with nobody, but that's why he loved those guys like Kwame and them players that have been through overseas. That's a good thing. He done lived his life. He talked about his daily experience as a man, but then women on here, there's certain channels I've seen, they talk about their daily lives. Good for them. It's nothing wrong with that. I see people lose weight more. They used to be in those industries, adult industries. They lost a lot of weight. Yeah, everybody's taking Ozempic. Ozempic's kind of bad. That's for people that have diabetes and stuff like that. A lot of bad side effects. I ain't messing with it. And they got other drugs that's similar to Ozempic, and people lost their stomachs. And, like these models that used to be big, they all taking that and they taking something else. They ain't getting no gastro surgery like old boy was saying on X. He's capping on that. And that's why they don't look the same. but it's a fetish to most guys, and you got most fetish dudes that look a certain way too to females. So it's a give and take. See, I look at X what it is, and I look at Instagram what it is. You know, when this is, sir, why you saying X? I mean, formerly known as Twitter. That's where they see all this stuff. Yes, TikTok is the biggest because you really can see who's trifling, who's not. But I'm just saying, man, like this is a part one to this. A part two will be like I don't know. I don't think this will be a part one. I'll do. This is one part of it. I ain't gonna how much time. Yeah, I got plenty of time. Okay, I ain't gonna do it too long because I gotta. I want to see what's going on, but it's a lot of things in my mind that this is part of it. This I might make a part one of this. I may do a part two and write this down again. But I think part two, I'm gonna talk about why not to get caught up in this genre. It's nothing wrong with podcasts, but it's how you say stuff because you can get captured by the wrong person that you are. See, everybody's competing with each other. So when we talk about these spaces claiming to be red pill, that which they're not, you're perpetuating the same thing I've seen over and over again years and years ago. Yes, it's a blue pill field, but it's the same thing. And Mr. Z said something that stuck out to me 4 years ago. I don't care if a dude like that, but over time I was hearing him on panels, on the Roger Reports. I was in the chat rooms, the BGS shit that he would be on some knucklehead shit. And then I heard it on Arts. And all the time he brought up that word. And I researched, I studied it, I put it together and it makes sense. And it's really broken down to me how the Romans fell. Epicureanism was the standard of their philosophy, what you call utilitarianism today. See, the British, that's what hurt them. They didn't last long. See, first, it was France. And, the Templar, Masons got kicked out. Told you that story, right? And then they had a revolution. Then the second right was Britain, right? That didn't last too well. I mean, we had that war, whooped them in 76, and this country's founded. This country really, the second right was England. Didn't last long, right? Then the third Reich was what? Germany. Carbon copy of Rome, right? And then the fourth Reich, they try to say it's this country, and most people believe that. And we're seeing it right now, but I'm not saying it like that. But this country has a lot of problems. It's on the verge of collapsing, but I'm not saying America's going to collapse. It's just people too much money into the doctrine, what you would call utilitarianism, because it's secular. You can't really say much anything anymore. Google and YouTube can get sold off by anybody at this point. So we got to be careful, man. Like these relationship podcasts are a big distractions. And I don't see anybody gaining from it. I don't see people getting relationships out of it. I'm talking about like actual relationships. Now, the Pop of the Balloon show, we're going to talk about that just a couple of minutes. I'm going to break down that's a ritual. That's going to be part of the whole thing I've been watching. I see a lot of reaction channels love these shows. These shows is not helping nobody. Just like I said, it goes back to the podcasting aspect of it. Because podcasts, you got people critiquing it, reacting. That's cool. That shit gets old after a while on YouTube. But when you're talking about the balloon show that everybody loves to talk about, you got all types. You got Jamaicans doing it. Yeah, everybody doing this pop balloon shit. And Arlette has matched people, and then people, she checked up on them, and they did help their relationships. It was a good project. And somebody proposed to a woman recently on one of her things I saw, and someone reacted, and then she got proposed like that. They was on the show. He was out of a lineup, and he proposed to her. Saw that on they thing. I said, oh, okay, so they are making progress. So her shit is legit, but it's a social experiment. But what we're looking at, people are desperate out here, and it shows, and it goes into society. Like I said about what utilitarian is, it's for the group, and it means greatest happiness of the greatest number, aka for the group. It's a long ass definition if you read the whole thing, and we just try to twist it. No. That's utilitarianism. It is very hedonistic. So you got hedonistic cultures here. You got it over here, over there. But America is the king of that. That's why relationships is what it is, man. And they just like, it's just what it is, man. But that's the sad part. When those pop the balloon shows start popping around, they were trash in the beginning when people react to them. But that Aaron guy, yeah, he told on himself, bro. But Aaron left with one person, the one with the plumber job. But he never got fired, according to him. Papa said he was fired. No, that nigga was not fired. He lied about that. He getting exposed and try to sue somebody. Man, dude, you don't sit your brolic ass down, you weak ass. And most of them broad niggas can't fight no way. Them muscle guys, a lot of people think they can fight. No, they can't. They are bleeders. Shots out to Zip saying that. They bleed. You put an object on them, they done. All they care about is they bite. That's their weakness. If I was big like that, I'd be swinging, disarming people, and then submitting like wrestling. That's what you do. After that, where's your legs at, nigga? And then they kill me talking about legs. Nigga, y'all barely use it. You got the biggest tree trunk legs, but don't fucking use them. Get the fuck out of here. Your legs should be mid-sized and have mobility. I hate when guys want to get big, but don't use their legs. That's bigger than everybody else's. Use your damn legs. Use a stomp or something. Knee drop or whatever. They kill it with that leg talk. Man, it's nothing wrong with leg day. But are you going to use yours? No. So I tell them to be quiet. Or get your leg come off with a gunshot. Y'all don't be talking like that. They kill me with that. Like these people that go work out, they don't understand. You know you gotta use your legs, right? These dudes is crazy, man. Like they get on here, talk the most shit, but they ain't gonna do shit. I believe that. And that's why they always get fucked up. Because don't say nothing to a person if you meet up with them, and then when you check them in real life and then pop on them, it's over. Like that's why these dudes get their head blown away. And that's happened before on any internet website. You can do your research. I'm not gonna say what happened to certain individuals, but it did happen. People die off this internet shit. A lot of people try to say they don't. Yes, they do. And it's over. You won't be watering your mouth like that. See, the internet's too easy. Back in the day, they did it. Only person that did it to a female, he was sick what he did to Asian McGowan. Rest in peace to Asian McGowan, but that set us back. But that's been going on forever. You know, niggas see you and they know your neighborhood, they got you. Now it's too easy. That's why hacking, aka doxing, exists. And the police still won't do nothing about it. That's why niggas get popped. So I wouldn't run my mouth arguing on panels with a person you don't know. I mean, I was guilty of it, I'll say 3 years ago. I learned. I didn't cry about it because I knew they was going to do shit no way. That's nothing. But they'll never do it to my face. You know why? Because they pussy. I don't take these dudes seriously. Especially on these panels or nobody. Anybody that watches long live streams of an individual, he's simping, bro, for attention. I'm just keeping it real to you. These niggas kill me, bro. Yeah. Oh, here, like I'm sick of that. It's nothing wrong lifting weights, get your body right and all that, but use your body, use your whole body. Hell, have a little martial arts in you. If you're a martial art, use your legs. They got strength in their legs. You'd be surprised. It's nothing wrong with legs. If I work on them as much as the upper body is easy. That's when you can do that when you're older. But when you're young, work on your leg skills. You can do a lot of things with legs. Trust me, it takes you a long way when you get older. Because 95% of the time, when you get older, the leg starts giving out. You got to keep moving. That's why leg machines work. Leg weights are appropriate at any age. It's no excuse. That's how you keep your upper body maintained and keep stuff off of you. Eat the right things, balance, have a balanced diet. Don't make strict diets, and then you be all right. And the goal is, if people want pre-diabetes, that's on you. But I don't want none of that, to be honest with you. But you gotta be steadfast. But the thing is, these dudes, they get online and don't talk about healthcare. They don't talk about none of that. So that's why they weak and they simp so hard for these worthless females. and they love prostitution so much. They already legalized in certain parts of the state, but not all the United States. But it's legal in Vegas, and they try to say it's legal in New York. I don't know how true that is. I don't know. I can't say. Y'all could speak in the comments if it is. As but me, I don't think it is as much. But people are still scared to talk to each other nowadays because after that era, the C-19 era, it ruined them. So yeah, man, that's a lot of stuff. But I get to a point that when we talk about these spaces, like they claim they're so red pill, but they're really blue pill deep down. They don't understand that a lot of that stuff can come back to bite you. The stuff you say about females, if you argue on panels, they're going to try to stop you. Try to stop your content. See, Google and YouTube want you to have a cordial conversation. All that entertainment drama, cussing, screaming, that don't bother YouTube. That don't. But if you let her speak and don't overtalk her like that, little consideration and argument's sake, which it will never happen. That's what they want if you want to get successful. But that doesn't work all the time. There's a ton of podcasts talk about a little bit of relationships and things like that and mixed topics. I mean, Math Hoff is one. I don't care if his podcast, he's got good guests. That's the only reason I'm subscribed to him. Everybody else is all right. These relationship podcasts, strictly relationships, ain't got no substance of hobbies and subject matter. That shit gets boring. It was cool while everybody was locked in. Once they start opening up the country, that shit dried up. It's 3 years now. It's been 2 years since it's dried up. Now it's been dried up this year because of election year. My thoughts on the election, I'm not going to speak on the two sides really, because one side we already know is a female. Like old boy thought he was going to beat Biden. His whole presidency was strictly against Joe Biden, even though Obama was his man right behind the scenes helping him. Same with Biden helped him when they was in presidency. You know how people get. But old girl, they call her, but I ain't gonna say it on here because I already done said it. It don't matter because most of these females are gonna vote for him anyway. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all think it's gonna be just females voting. No. You can't trust that white man. I'm telling you niggas that vote for the other side, he don't care nothing about you, bro. He already lost. If he would have won, me personally, debates don't determine who becomes president. Debates only show you where they at. Even if you win or lose a debate, somebody's going to win by being selected. I just don't see him winning, me personally. Now, he has a good chance to steal, but in reality, his whole thing, and when you pick J.D. Vance, you're done. You already lost the election right there. He could have picked somebody, but knowing his temperament and his narcissism cost him. And she's a prosecutor too, so everybody's not going to like a prosecutor or the police. That's what the niggas are saying. I agree with that. But here's the thing. They're always going to win. They have it set up for that person to win. I'm just not going to say too much. I told you, this is a circus era. Anything can happen. Do not be surprised if he loses. Because he has a chance in the beginning when it was Biden. When she came up there, the other side done said, let's pick her anyway. The pressure's on. See, they try to make this gender war thing real, but it's not real. It never was real. It was just a control mechanism. She did what she did, and I don't care. If she wins, I'm not going to be mad. I will say I told you so. Because I've been saying what she's doing. So she picked the right person to turn around the country. He was from Minnesota, and he's got a good track record. A lot of people hate on him. They mad because he ain't afraid of J.D. Vance. And the guy that she really wanted was Shapiro, but they try to say conflicts of the other side of the world in the Holy Land. Shapiro, to me, Shapiro was immature. There's some stories about he wouldn't last on a big stage. He was too young anyway. He's immature. He has to grow a little. So she picked a mature choice, the Minnesota guy that turned around Minnesota. A lot said Minnesota's bad. No, Minnesota's been great since he got there. He ain't perfect, but it's better than the state that she come from. And all it's going to do is help her track record. That's what it's really about. So I understand people talking about it on various streams, politics. I saw one from Lucky's live stream. She said, and this dude, I forget his name. Damn. I don't know if his name is it Darren? I believe that guy. And he was right about old boy. See, they don't know the history of old boy. That old boy did some foul shit back in the day. And that USFL right there was telling who he was. The guy that was alive, he's from Florida, taught Trump everything about the league. As soon as he passed away, and I said this before 3 years ago, he started fucking the league up and sold it in 1986. That shows you a lot about old boy. And in case you know who I'm talking about Trump's ass. Trump is done. I don't see him. The top does not want him to win because he already exposed his own team that's part of them societies, and they're making them eat that. So if I was dude, you got an assassination attempt, and I don't wish no ill on nobody, but this dude, he deserved that. His actions and his mouth caused people to attack him like that. So now he's being bold. A lot of people say, "Oh, the men gonna vote." Yeah, most men will vote. It ain't gonna be just white men, black men voting. It's gonna be different men that are gonna vote, but it's not gonna be enough because the other side got other dudes that are also a different complexion, like us, not just black but white, and a combination of brown people. She's got the brown vote. She's got the brown vote, the Latin people vote. I don't use the H word. That applies to Spain. That's a whole nother story on that. And y'all check out that recording I did. It's hell to get on there because I need to add some more space on the thing. And that's it. He said a lot of people don't want to. Yeah, nobody does, but it don't matter because they're gonna pick her regardless. I already know she's gonna win it. Because Kennedy's a good choice. I thought he was a good choice, but something about Kennedy, they just don't want him. I'll be on other platforms. They do not want that guy either. They don't want to deal with that again, relive the 60s. They're trying to get away from it. America's dying, bro. America needs that last push to be a real physical empire, and they got to do it with a female so they don't want to go out like them other countries. So I understand it's been tried in other countries now. The only thing they can get her on is the financial shit. If it's economics, they can get her on the financial shit. That's the only thing you can get her on. But out of that, the military, we got to see, because that determines your economics, your inflations, all that stuff. Our military is still going to go to that war. It pays the bills and reduce inflation. And then the bankers, they're going to play along. They all play along. They're on the same team. And they hide and shit. So, yeah, man, America is what it is. Yeah, it's like crazy. A lot of people don't want, and it's people, I've heard people say that, but it don't matter. Their voices don't matter. If they get out and vote for the third parties, that'd be good. But most people don't do that shit and give it to people like old girl, and she's over there doing damage. In case you know when I keep saying girl, I'm talking about Kay Harris. No shot at her. I'm just saying, she's just one of those. But if she wins, I'm not going to be mad. I'm just going to leave it alone and not say nothing, because we're in an era that, why talk bad about them and let them do their thing? They can say the reckless shit. I don't even want to make streams on them. It's not worth it. It's bad enough they look at me as a hater in these male spaces, but females, I ain't got time for that. I don't hate y'all like that. It's not even worth it. Y'all just a waste of breath of talking. But if we have a conversation, we can do it on your platform or whoever's platform, mine's, we're good. But I ain't gonna argue with her, just strangers I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not one of those people. But I know how she rolls. She's a prosecutor. She's like a lawyer, man. I know lawyer means liar in Latin, but it's about money to them. So we're gonna see what she's gonna do with the money. But the military aspect and that together alone, them two right there has to balance out. We got to see what she does overseas to over here, how it affects our lives over here. See, overseas determine our economics. I'm sure I say it don't. Yes, it does. All those wars adds up, but it's the military going to steal the stuff from other countries to build the economics. Who they going to give it to? See, it's a corporation. But we all know like I said, the title of this video, podcast relationship, always talk about, and they stuck in this blue pill matrix, and they straight up utilitarian, man. Like, it's just what it is, man. I'm not gonna beat it up too much. Shouts to the people that came. And he said that's a soft sense. Salute to you, new. What else is in here? Antisocial, Queena. What's in the she? Shout out to y'all coming through in Tampa, of course. And who else came in here? Legend edits. Appreciate you. But yeah, man, like, and what's going on, Bronzebird? It goes to show you, man, like these relationship podcasts, they've been falling apart. And I've noticed people been having crash outs, getting emotional. And you have a lot of these women, these females, these so-called women that are females, they're prostitutes, and they want to retire soon. You see them leaving OF and other platforms. If you notice, they're trying to be reformed like the people and try to pretend they be red pill, but they're not. It's really sad, man. Like, you got to look at things like that. So that's all I got. But I'm just saying, like, these guys in these podcasts, they're not red pill. They're actually blue pill because they lie about the fabric that both sides can do wrong. But the guy has to understand, you know what you marry, you know what you deal with, don't complain about it. If you trust in any so-called woman or female, majority of our females that don't act like women, if you trust in them and put a baby in them, it's your fault. Like Ty City said and others said, if you trust in them, or you put your faith in that, it goes to women too. You trust in that dude, it's your fault. It goes on both sides, your fault. It takes two. Child didn't ask to be here. He ain't nothing but an asset to this country. Only time he becomes a liability, he depreciates when he gets older. You know how when you're young, you're valuable until you get older. When you turn 18 or whatever, you depreciate each time as a teenager. People stop caring about you. But as a teenager, you got to learn about your individual self. And then when you get to 18, you depreciate. But you are in the system now. You're not legal to drink until, like, what, 21? It should be 24, to be honest with you. But you understand, you have to understand that. That's standard. Like I remember, because now you got to play this game. See, I'm 30 plus years old, you know. I'm on the 35 plus in the threshold zone. I'm in the threshold. That's our generation. I used to be part of the 25, 34 crowd for some years. So I came back in the era, in the 25, 34 crowd, even my age. And then I was in my early 30s when I was on these panels and shit. But now on the threshold age, thank goodness I'm still here. It matters. So it's fortunate. Yeah, it's been a fad for years, but these guys been doing it forever, so they've been exposed. But shouts out to the ones that's doing it. I don't have to say nothing no more. Shouts to World Class for doing it. It's just these guys are done, bro. Like, we see it all the time, and all that for nothing. But so with that, shalom to the people of Israel, until the Gentiles, until next time, shalom, peace in the name of Yah. And until next time, I'm signing off and I'm out.